Well, welcome guys once again back on the show. It's nice to see you guys all here. Today I would have spoken Swahili from the intro, but I can't. Today I don't know English. I don't know Swahili. I only know English and a different language called Pedi and Zulu. How are you guys? I hope you're well, all of you. Thank you so much for making time to speak to us this evening. This is the final whistle live on Walk with Sagini. And we are blessed. And after a long, short break, let me call it a short break, not a long break, because I took like 2 weeks not going live on air here because I was somewhere else. And it was nice, but I missed you guys. I hope you also missed us. Nice to have you back once again, our viewers. And thank you so much for making time to watch this show. This is the final whistle. Today we are focusing heavily on the FIFA Club World Cup, which is currently going on in the United States of America. But again, also we'll talk about some transfer news center whereby some of the players have moved or switched their allegiance. Paul Pogba recently signed for Monaco and is currently on his way to Monaco in French Ligue A, but also some speculation surrounding Garnacho at Manchester United, but also Florian Wirtz being the second signing for Liverpool this season, but then much more also about the weather concerns in the US for the FIFA Club World Cup, but again also the performance for African clubs at the FIFA Club World Cup, that is Sundowns, Al Ahly, and Wydad Casablanca. How have they fared in round one ahead of round three? Because at the moment, only one club from Africa has been knocked out. That is Wydad Athletic Club from Morocco. But then others, how will they fare? Karibuni sana watazamaji wangu, bila shaka. We have a new guest on the show. Aisha from Pretoria, South Africa. This is a sports journalist whom I met in Pretoria during the BAL finals. And she is a very great supporter and a very great lawyer and a very great professor of Mamelodi Sundowns 2016 CAF Champions League winners, but also Derek Jumba, who is a Manchester United diehard lawyer, and of course Nyambu Murithi, as always. She is the advocate of the High Court for Arsenal FC in Kenya. But you also have DJ Mike, who is the Rumba mascot, all-time top DJ for Arsenal Football Club. Welcome, guys. Aisha, karibu sana, mambo.
Habari gani? How are you? I'm good.
Sana. We are good. We are good. Nice to have you here on this show, and you're most welcomed.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm here representing Sundowns.
Nice to see that. Nyambu, how are you?
I'm okay. I'm good. How about you?
I'm also well. What did I miss while I was away?
I don't think I can say it here.
Why?
I don't think there's anything to miss here, like in Kenya at the moment.
Okay. Derek, Mambo VP, what did I miss while I was away? Derek, can you hear me?
He's on mute.
Okay. DJ Mike, Derek can't hear me. DJ Mike, how are you?
Yes.
How are you? How are you, sir? Oops. These guys can't hear me. Anyway,
I'm fine. I'm
get
fine.
right into it. What's up, DJ Mike? What's up with
the network issues today?
Okay. Derek, can you hear me on your end? Get off the earphones because they are not working with you. Okay, we'll just get straight into it. And of course, the first talking point is about the African performance at the moment. And African clubs have performed kinda, we can say, well or not well, or maybe averagely. 7 matches, 2 wins, 1 draw, and 4 losses. African teams at the moment are being represented by several clubs, including Al Ahly, Mamelodi Sundowns, and of course, Wydad Athletic Club from Morocco. But then how have they fared after round one of this tournament? Maybe Nyambu, in the first analysis and the first overview of the first group stages for the FIFA Club World Cup for the African clubs, what is your analysis and what is your overall say about them?
Of course, it's not the performance we're expecting. Our teams have not performed really well, but we are hoping for. I think it's Tunis and Mamelodi. We are hoping they might surprise us by winning their. Like we have hope in them when they win one of their games, or the games that they are scheduled to play. Maybe they can somehow qualify, but it's really not a good show for African teams, to be honest. I think it's because they have met a good teams. Of course, when you're playing the FIFA Club World Cup, it's because you are there on merit. And when you compare teams such as PSG and Bayern, there's really good teams. So I don't know. We just hope that one of the African teams can sneak through, but I really don't know. It's just time will tell.
As time will tell, of course. Aisha, Nyambu says they haven't performed quite well. What could be some of the reasons as to why African teams have not gotten that nick in time?
I wouldn't necessarily say they're not performing quite well. I think they're doing much better than usual. We have representation from a team that is from Southern Africa, which is Mamelodi Sundowns. They're doing quite well, despite the loss against Dortmund, the 3-4 loss. I mean, even though they lost the match, they won fans' hearts. African teams are actually showing some good tactical skills. I just feel like they would need to improve over time. The loss against Flamengo of Esperance was not nice. And as for Wydad, the two losses against Man City and Juventus, I wouldn't say they were bound to happen, but if Wydad was not putting in the work, it was bound to happen. So maybe a little bit of improvement, but let's give them grace.
Let's give them some grace. Before I go to Jumba and DJ Mike, let me give out some shout outs of the guys who are watching us live on Facebook and YouTube Live. Abeka Jr. and Jones Kundu and Vincent Onchwari all are live on Facebook. But then here on the comment section, I can see quite a number of guys. Brian Mwema, Cyril Owiti, Brian Mwema also, Mtoto wa Shule and Abeka Jr. all are standby with their comments. I'll be reading them in a short while. But then, Derek Jumba, can you hear me now?
Of course, yes, I can hear you, Sagini.
Great. It's nice to have you once again back, but unfortunately, your club is not participating in the FIFA Club World Cup. Reasons well known to you, but I know you've watched the first round and the second round of the group stages. What is your analysis about African clubs' performance so far?
My analysis about the African clubs, I can say somehow below average, because I really expected them to perform averagely, not above average. So far, the team that has stood out for me is Mamelodi Sundowns, because I watched their match against Borussia Dortmund. It was a good match. Was it not for the maybe the experience Borussia Dortmund have, then that match would have been easily won by Mamelodi Sundowns. And in fact, for me, I would really congratulate them because they gave out a very good fight. But having said so, the other teams like Esperance, like like Casablanca, we have seen what they have showcased, and the teams they actually met. For me, I want to believe that they are big teams. We can call them big teams because meeting a team of a caliber in European Championship is not easy. So that one can also give us maybe a good comparison between the African football and the European and also other continents. But as per me, I want to believe that it has not been good for African teams. But Mamelodi, for me, I want to believe it is going to put up a very good fight, especially in this tournament.
So far, African clubs, the 4 African clubs, 7 matches, 2 wins and 4 losses and 1 draw. But at the moment, each club of from Africa who are participating in this year's FIFA Club World Cup received, of course, a total of 9.5 USD each for just participating for this year's FIFA Club World Cup. You can see the number of Africans and the number of most represented nationalities. South Africa has the most with around 31 players in the whole of the FIFA Club World Cup. That's a good number for you, Aisha. But then, DJ Mike, I see you are back now. We are discussing about the FIFA Club World Cup African team's performance, and Nyambu is not satisfied with the performance as at now. Aisha and Derek on their hands, they are saying, yes, we are losing, but we have to give some credit where due. DJ Mike, what could be the reasons as to why maybe we are not getting too much or many wins as possible for African clubs at the FIFA Club World Cup?
Thank you so much, Sagini. First of all, let me say FIFA did a colossal mistake taking it to the US. I think because of the weather conditions and everything, they could have chosen, even the US is not really a heavyweight in terms of football. But be that as it may, I saw that game against Al Ahly. I think they were playing against who, I don't remember, but I saw that game. And they really tried to give a good account of themselves. I can actually see why they were after Bruno so much, because they wanted to revamp that squad. And the one on Mamelodi Sundowns, Mamelodi, I've seen them in the past. It's a good side. But looking at African sides in general, there is usually a management issue that makes them not stand out in terms of football performances. Looking at looking at this competition, the Club World Cup, even Gor Mahia could have made it. They have made it so easy. They have made it so easy to participate in that competition. Unlike before, it was so difficult to even participate because you would have expected a team like Al Ahly to be beaten like 5-0, but that was not the case. So we are really trying as African teams. I'm yet to see the team from Morocco, but Chelsea is also in that pool and other heavyweights. So we are waiting to see how the team from Morocco, is it Casablanca?
Yeah, Wydad.
Wydad.
Why?
Wydad.
Wydad or
Yeah,
Wydad, depends on the school teacher.
It is in the same pool in Chelsea, so we wait to see how things will go.
All right. Of course, we have some other matches this evening for the FIFA Club World Cup. But before that, of course, this tournament was expanded and it is a new format because initially, and a fan online was saying that the reason as to why Brazilian teams are performing so nice and so excellent in this year's FIFA Club World Cup is because for them, this is a platform to sell their players. Whilst European clubs like Chelsea, Man City, Liverpool, Madrid, they don't take it serious because to them it's like a precision game because they've already achieved their season objectives from the Champions League, their local leagues, domestic cups. So for them it's like a precision. But for Brazilian teams and for African teams, which is also another ideology, because this is like a platform for them to sell their players. And one of the players who was impressed so far from Africa is from I think it's Wydad, Tendinkosi Loch, who is from South Africa. And big goal for him yesterday, of course. And we hope that they'll continue to do much more better. Aisha, this tournament is like a new format, but up until now, has it lived up to the expectations, the hype, that it's new, it's big, it has got a lot of money, it is more than the Champions League? Has it lived up to that expectation?
I wouldn't say it is bigger or as big as the Champions League, but it is getting there. I think we can see it by the financial figures of the teams, whatever that the teams are getting after participating in every match. That's a good sign. So it's living up to the hype a bit, but it's not there yet.
It's not there yet. Nyambu, FIFA Club World Cup, of course, many when many hear about it, they think about a pre-season. Will it get to where Aisha is saying?
I know it's just a start, and it's because maybe it's involving teams that are not widely known. Because thinking about Wydad or as Tunis, I know it's known in their respective countries or in Africa, but it's not known like internationally, even the other clubs from other countries. So it's gonna take some bit of time, and then again, I think it comes like it has come after so many competitions, like the ones that we've had, the Premier Leagues, all the tournaments that we've had from respective countries. So I don't think it has lived the hype. You've seen the stadiums are mostly sometimes empty. And I think also being in the US is just another factor with whatever is going on with their current president. So I don't think it was a very good venue, and that's why we are seeing the low turnout. But with time, it might get better. It might not get better. Only time will tell.
Derek, the hype of the FIFA Club World Cup, of course, it was so huge. And as Aisha says, if you look at the money value and the prize money for this year's tournament, of course, it's a big thing. But does it reflect on the pitch?
Absolutely no. For me, no, and for many, absolutely no, because I think it is just a matter of. I have heard somebody saying is about issue of timing. It is true, and of course we know Americans, they are not that well when it comes to football. If this competition was maybe shifted to European or to Europe, it would be it would be a bit okay because of so many factors. Of course, we know like the time zone and the timing of everything is bad. Look at the time the matches are being played. At those particular time, we understand that the Americans, most of them are working. If you look at the issues about the temperatures, very worse, very worse. Most players are complaining, even the fans that are able to even access the pitch, they are complaining. So it is just a mess. But I want to believe that Infantino, they must have seen something because I saw him with the president of US. So I think it was just a strategy to market their league. But for me and for many fans, I want to believe this was a very wrong move because we know Europe is the house of football, whether we like it or not. It is the house of football.
Okay, before I come to DJ Mike, let me read some comments here on our live. Abeka Jr. is saying, lost and found, and I'm back in full swing. Toto Ashule is saying, is watching live. Brian Mwema says, Ngotea, here msiseme sijawahi kufika. Sema, in short, is just meaning that don't say that I've never been here before. Joel James, I've seen this Melody left back player. The guy is on fire. Which player is that, Aisha? What's his name?
The left back.
Yeah.
Probably Grant Kekana, because he's the one who's usually in defense.
Oh, okay. I think that's the guy who Joel James is trying to mean here. Cyril Owiti says the Club World Cup is a good thing, but honestly, we do not expect any African to surprise. Brad Mama says Chelsea, si team ni chama ya wase wanduthi, is just trying to bash Chelsea. And he says, Cyril Owiti says, African clubs should just go, have fun, and maybe get a player or two into the big European teams. As I said, of course, this is a platform for African players to sell their talent. But then, DJ Mike, has the FIFA Club World Cup lived to the hype that it was initially before it started?
You know, Sagini, actually, Derek has summarized everything. As I had said, I don't know how and why they arrived at US as the venue, because they are even struggling to sell tickets. They even had to lower the prices of the tickets. You see, I don't know how many American footballers I know personally. They cannot exceed 10 players who I like from that league. Especially only maybe the ones that are Inter Miami that I know a few. But to be honest, America is not known for football. You can talk of basketball, but not football. How they arrived at that venue or at that country as a venue is something that baffles me. But anyway, looking at that new format, it can even accommodate some some average teams. Even looking at the UCL format, they have really tried to change some things to accommodate more teams. So I think right now it's not very difficult to win the Club World Cup. And even you look at the amount, is it 100 million? It's 100 what? What's the prize money?
USD.
Yeah, 100 million USD. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. So they've really tried. Although it's the first one after the format changed. So let us see how they keep improving next year.
All right.
Let us see far, how.
Okay, great. Now, to one of the biggest and main concerns about the FIFA Club World Cup this year, and as DJ Mike says, and Derek Jumbo also mentioned it earlier on, is about the weather. And we've seen a couple of games in the US being delayed for even more than 2 hours, because one game for Al Ahly was delayed for more than 2.5 hours before the second half resumed in that stadium. Weather delay has been a concern in the US with thunderstorms, potential heavy rains, and of course heavy or extreme heat conditions in the stadium, which is a risk to the players and also to the fans' comfort in the stadium. We've seen fans being directed to go to the tunnels in order to seek shelter during such conditions. But of course, my biggest worry is next year we have the FIFA World Cup. Okay. Next year we have the FIFA World Cup for the national teams. Of course, we'll encounter the same challenges. So did FIFA do or choose or make the right decision to take the FIFA World Cup to the US next year? Because we understand they are co-hosting it with Canada and Mexico, but US is the most affected when it comes to weather conditions. Nyambu, did FIFA do the right decision to take next year's World Cup to US?
Considering all these factors, it might not have been a good decision, but hey, it's also business. When you look at football, it's business. So there's no country that will not love to hold such a big event. So being in the US, it's just more than what we look at, like just that competition being there. So it has been discussed. They bid and they got the rights to hold the competition there. So there's nothing much we can say about that, because now it's just something that was decided. It was something that was talked through, and you know how intense that process is. So getting there, it was a process. So it's just what it is. We'll have to go by it.
Aisha, what's your take? Because Nyambu is kind of conflicted between two sides.
I actually agree with her in terms of the business side. I mean, every country would love to host FIFA. It's good for the economy. And when we look at a country like US, it has the infrastructure and appeal to bring in fans. But like J. Mike and Derek said, it does not have a football culture. The only football that they know is the one that's like rugby, and that's completely out of the picture. We look at how most of the people in the US do not even follow any football culture, and the knowledge behind it, and the empty stadiums that we're seeing. Because it doesn't make sense for people to be flying in from different countries to come and support their teams. Like the first match against Ulsan, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it properly, the match against Ulsan with Mamelodi Sundowns. The stadium was practically empty besides the fans of those respective teams. And during matches like these, we also need to see people from that specific country. That shows that there is no football culture or joy when it comes to the specific sport. And it brings worry into what's going to happen in 2026 when they're hosting the World Cup, you know? So a lot of issues are of concern right now.
Okay. At some point during Borussia Dortmund's game versus Mamelodi Sundowns, of course, we saw that the bench for Borussia Dortmund was forced to go watch the second half inside the changing room because of the kind of heat conditions at the stadium. And these are some of the things that maybe FIFA should have considered before naming US as the venue or the host for this year's FIFA Club World Cup. Who is this? Derek, if you can hear me?
Yes, I can. Of course, I can hear you.
Yeah.
So Sagini, before Derek speaks, but you know,
Yes.
something just came to my mind. Qatar, like we had the World Cup. Do they have a culture of watching football?
Exactly.
I think we'll just get people coming because you know it's such a big event, and despite the weather, people will show up. It's the Club World Cup. You can't compare with the World Cup itself. So there must be changes in that. And it's a business opportunity. Many people will go there for business stuff. People will go there to watch football. So other countries will travel there. So we can't really compare like football and club, the FIFA Club World, whatever that is. So yeah, you can't really because you see, Qatar does not have that culture of football we are talking about. So,
but they still have fans in their stadium.
The dynamics will, of course, change.
And of course, another factor is American football stadiums were not really constructed for football. They were constructed for American type of football, which is not the same as football. And of course, that's another major concern. And FIFA say that they will try and improve the structures in terms of even improving the playing surface. That's by using the hybrid type of grass. So you can see there's a lot of dynamics here, and then FIFA is trying to do its best to ensure that next year's World Cup will be classic and magical. But then, DJ Mike, with all those conditions, maybe what do you think FIFA should do right now in terms of moving forward from this year's tournament ahead of the knockout stages in the round of 16 coming? DJ Mike. Okay, Derek, Jumba, if you can hear me. DJ Mike is having a challenge, I think, with his internet. Derek? Oops. Okay, Aisha, what's the way forward?
Sagini, I can hear you.
Yes, but you're not answering.
Can you please recap your question kindly?
We're discussing about the weather conditions in the FIFA Club World Cup. What should be the way forward from FIFA in this year's tournament?
Okay, well, I want to say this. Before FIFA settles on the host, I want to believe that they will look at all the logistics for for the tournament to take place? Like, is it favorable for all the continents? If not so, maybe possibly all the continents. So moving forward, in fact, going forward, I'm looking at a situation whereby FIFA will come up with a very good strategy so that all the continents will benefit and also the players are able to benefit, because the weather conditions are affecting almost everyone, the players, the coaches, and even the fans. So for me, I want to believe that this one should be a major concern for FIFA itself before they organize for any tournament. As much as they are looking for the marketing strategy and money issues, they should also consider the players and even the welfare of the players.
But let me ask you one thing, Derek. Qatar, when they were hosting the 2022 FIFA World Cup, there were a lot of concerns about human rights, about the heat or the weather conditions there, but they still had a successful tournament. So don't you think USA can also pull the same card like Qatar did in 2022?
Yes, I believe so.
What's happening with your phone?
My phone is just hanging up here and there.
What's happening?
Okay,
It's always
let me.
rotating every time now and then. Okay, Derek, DJ Mike, if you can hear me, please, because time is running.
I haven't gotten the question.
I was just asking Derek here because he's saying that it is so unfair that US was given the rights to host next year's FIFA World Cup. So I was just challenging him by asking him, Qatar in 2022 had the same issue before the World Cup. They had major concerns about the weather, extreme heat conditions, but also human rights issues. But then they had a successful tournament despite them not having a single stadium by that time, but then they had a successful tournament. So don't you think US, with all the infrastructure that they have already initially, and of course they're using this tournament as a warm-up ahead of next year's tournament, don't you think they can also pull the same card that Qatar pulled in 2022 and have a successful FIFA World Cup? DJ Mike. Oh gosh.
Hey, the internet is misbehaving.
Okay, Derek, I think now you're back. You can hear me. Okay, can you please answer us and avoid touching your phone, because every time you're touching it, it has to rotate.
Okay. Thank you, Sagini. I want to believe US cannot really just pull up the way Qatar did it, because for Qatar, as much as we are protesting for human rights and such like stuff, I want to believe they were given this tournament way back and they had all what it takes. But for the America, this time round, I don't want to believe that they will pull it back, because if you look at the two countries like Qatar and America, for Americans, even the stadia are empty, unlike what we saw in Qatar. So in Qatar, the stadiums were almost full, and the only issue that was there, it was the issues of heat and maybe about cultural practices. But for Americans, they can't pull that.
I think I beg to differ.
Okay.
America is a superpower. You know, America can turn a stadium at like with just a week and it's good to go. Like, and then again, Derek, we are talking about World Cup and this tournament that we have currently. So we haven't compared if America hosts the World Cup, how it will be versus how Qatar was, because it hasn't happened yet. And for
Yeah,
me,
right.
America, you can't compare America with Qatar. America is they can pull anything at any time. So we just wait and see. I'm sure they'll put mechanisms to cap that heat that they are going to experience. I'm sure the players will be having like even if it's water breaks, just some cooling off they'll cool off at one point. I'm sure they'll put up something. They can't just hold a tournament and it flops. I don't think that is in their DNA.
Great.
But Nyambura,
Aisha, yes.
Nyambura,
Yes? Yeah.
between the fans and the heat, which one do you think can be looked at easily and it be curbed? Because for me, I believe football is about fans. Forget about any other thing. Fans first. Do you want to tell me that Americans are going to fill those stadiums?
But remember, we are it's not the Americans only who are going to come to the stadium. There are so many countries that are participating in the World Cup. So Mexico will just cross over, Canada. Like it's something you can look at in different ways, because now even countries will send their representatives to go to the World Cup. So you can't really compare. And then, for the FIFA Club World Cup, it is club based. It's not country
National
based.
team.
Yeah. So you can't. It's. Are you affiliated to this club? So that's how you want to watch that game, or you want to go and participate in cheering the club. So you'll find, yes, they have taken the tournament to America, which maybe it was not a good idea. So maybe the Inter Milan fans, they're the ones to travel from Italy to go and watch the game. So no one from US will just bother. But you see, for country, you'll just come and watch. Like it's a whole different setup when it comes to World Cup.
Exactly.
I don't know if you get my point.
I believe he has put it here. Aisha, from where you sit as an analyst and as a football fan, of course, that has attended some football matches here and there and during cold season, hot season, what do you think FIFA should now undertake, and the US weather authorities should undertake at the moment to ensure that this year's Club World Cup ends well, but also ahead of next year's World Cup, we still have a smooth tournament?
Could you please repeat that? I didn't hear it properly.
Okay, in short, what should the way forward from FIFA in these two big tournaments?
What should FIFA do to improve the tournaments?
Yeah.
Firstly, make an awareness about soccer in America. Soccer needs to be appreciated. I feel like in every country it should be. The same way we are experiencing basketball in Africa, even though it wasn't such a big thing before. Let's create that culture, as well as just putting protocols in place to make sure that not just the players are having a good time at the stadium in terms of the weather, but also the fans that come there. Because if people are traveling from far to come watch these players and these teams, they should at least experience some sort of comfort. So FIFA should put that into consideration.
All right, that's very, very right there. Here on our Facebook fan page, namwona Kasi General Masha says, Sagini leo nimeonekana, nasemaje, Manchester wangekuwa kwa hii FIFA Club World Cup, ningefika finali. Ni vile tu, your team is not participating. Relax, just hold on at your number 16 ahead of next season. Brian Mwema says Qatar weather was fair. That's why they chose November instead of July. Maybe FIFA should also think about changing the kickoff times in order to avoid the hotter parts or the unfair parts of the day. Kenya Local News says football is in South America, not Europe. Alafu mtoto wa shule says, I think it's very wrong for USA to host FIFA World Cup, especially after having this experience. It's the right time for us to be given another opportunity. He's talking about Africa being given another opportunity to host the World Cup after 2010 South Africa. David Teixeira says Brazilian teams are proving they can go toe-to-toe with European giants. Afu anasema kwamba time zone ya USA, manze, it's a mess. They should consider World Cup 2026. He's saying this guy is cheeky. He's saying Jason Sagini saubona kusihilwa. Which language is this? Is this a language from South Africa, Aisha?
I recognize the Sawubona, but I'm not sure what Kusilwa is.
He just guessed, I know, because he's from the eastern part of Kenya, so he just guessed, trying to relate it with Kikamba. Brand Mwema says Wydad will wipe Chelsea. Cyril Owiti says African clubs should just go have fun and maybe get a player or two into the big European clubs. And lastly here, Malum Mjubi Onker says Orlando Pirates fan. Club World Cup, as far as we are Southlands, the sky is the limit. Like Masandawana in my favorite team right now. I believe this is a fan from South Africa. And thank you so much for also making time to watch us this evening. So as we say, or as we end up the talk about the FIFA Club World Cup, we hope that next year's World Cup will be, of course, smoother than what we've experienced at the moment with the FIFA Club World Cup. As we end up that topic of the FIFA Club World Cup, Derek Jumba, who do you think is going to win this year's FIFA Club World Cup after watching the first two rounds?
For me, to be fair, I want to concur with those fans who say the teams from Brazil, they have really shown a good show, or they have given us a good show. Talk about Palmeiras, talk about Botafogo. For me, as a football analyst, I would say those two teams have shown what it takes to take that trophy. But as it may, we are big giants of football, the likes of Real Madrid, the likes of PSG. They are just crowned as the Champions League winners. So we will not even rule them out, because sometimes you can start the race very bad, but as you finish, the race maybe becomes smoother. But to me, just to answer your question, I want to believe PSG, Paris Saint-Germain, they have what it takes to be crowned the champions of this tournament. But I will not rule out Real Madrid, because I'm also a Real Madrid fan. Madrid are still under rebuilding, because we have seen what Xavi has been doing. And even the first match, they were able to draw with that team. It was not a good match. So I want to believe Xavi is trying to fix the issues here and there, of which rebuilding takes time. But this is Real Madrid. So for me, PSG, number 2, Real Madrid, number 3, Palmeiras.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to avoid mentioning any Brazilian team. You haven't seen Palmeiras, but also watch out for Masandawana, because they can pull a surprise. Al Ali, being the all-time and the most colorful team from Africa, not been well with them, but we hope that in their last match they can win and qualify for the round of 16. DJ Mike, you've been quiet for a larger part of this show. I hope now you can hear us. DJ Mike is still having issues, I guess. Is he blinking? No, he's not blinking even. He's hanging.
Hey, Sakini. It's the hope that kills. So Al Ahly, have they won any match?
Al Ali won their first match, then lost their second match. Yeah, they've won one match. So if they win their next game, or if they draw pending on other results from the group, then they can qualify for the round of 16. But then, according to you, who will progress and get that coveted trophy?
I think PSG will continue their form. I know they didn't start quite well, but as Derek puts it, sometimes you might not start well, but you go ahead and win. Just like the case of I think it's Spain in South Africa. I don't know if you guys can remember, but I'd say PSG. PSG might just go with it.
Okay. Aisha, on your end, we are hoping that our club, Mamelodi Sundowns, can get somewhere. Because for your information, Nyambu and Derek, in each edition of the FIFA Club World Cup, an African team has to finish on the podium. Just to mention. Aisha, where do you think, how far can Sundowns go in this year's tournament?
I think I'm going over my head, Neil, but let's hope for the semis. Let's hope I have hope. I have so much hope in the team. They were seen as the underdogs as soon as the season started. But the first goal of the match against Ulsan was from Mamelodi Sundowns. So that's very possible that they can make it to the semis. Obviously, with good management, with good teamwork, and having just the right tactical things in place, they can go there, man. I have also some hope for Esperance because they also have high ratings in terms of them as an African team. So my bet is on those two African teams. Besides teams like Real Madrid and PSG, I'm taking it home and saying Mamelodi Sundowns and Esperance.
Sundowns and Esperance. I'm with you, Aisha, by the way, because when I compare the style of play and the kind of game and performance between these European clubs and African clubs, I think African clubs and Brazilian clubs have put up a good game and a good fight more than the European clubs combined. That's why I think I also go with an African team to go as far as the finals. I just said in each year's edition of the FIFA Club World Cup, an African team has to finish on the podium. So even this year, maybe it could be the same story. DJ Mike, on your end, maybe who do you think will win this year's FIFA Club World Cup after watching the first two games of the group stages? Yes, DJ, you've muted yourself again. I don't know what's happening with their gadgets. If you can't hear me, then we'll cross over the transfer window and discuss about Liverpool's transfer business so far. Florian Wirtz has joined Liverpool, and of course, talking about other players like Jadon Sancho, who are on the wish list for Manchester to be axed, but also Garnacho was recently seen in an Aston Villa shirt. What does it mean? But also Pogba moving to Monaco after that 2-year transfer ban because of course doping. Pogba now comes back to the football pitch and is going to Monaco in Ligue A, French Ligue A. So will Pogba revive his career at Monaco? But then let's start off with Florian Wirtz at Liverpool. This is the second signing for Liverpool this season after Frimpong. Frimpong from which team? Bayer Leverkusen? Or where was he from? I've been following up. Bayer Leverkusen, right? Derek, Florian Wirtz at Liverpool. Do you see him flourishing there?
Absolutely well. I want to believe that if there is a player that Liverpool has taken and he has taken the whole of European football last year, then this is Florian Wirtz. He's a versatile player because we understand that he's able to play in 3 different positions. He can be a striker, he can be an attacking midfielder, he can be on the left wing and also on the right wing. If you look at his statistic, you'll be able to know that this one is a machine because this one is a bowler. Look at his clips. Look at what he has been able to do at Bayer Leverkusen. He has been the face of Bayer Leverkusen, whether we like it or not. So for me, I want to believe that Liverpool have gotten a gym, and this one is going to be a gym and is going to take over Liverpool. Liverpool are going for the Champions League because if you look at their squad depth, having added Florian Wirtz, they have Zomboslai and also they have McAllister. So if all of them can be balanced well with the Mohamed Salah and of course with the signing of Frimpong, then Liverpool is going to be a very deadly team going forward, and they are going to take over European football. Florian Wirtz, for me, it is a better and a good signing. Having spent around 150, is it 150 something like that? Is a good signing for me. I wish it was Manchester United. However,
sorry, you guys are only speculating and always being linked with players, but no signing. After signing Cunha, that was the end of it. But then, as you said, rightfully, Florian Wirtz now becomes the most expensive player in the Premier League history for midfielders after Enzo Fernandez, Jack Grealish, Declan Rice, and Moses Caicedo for Chelsea. DJ Mike, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Okay, great. Florian Wirtz just signed for Liverpool, and Derek Jumba says this is a goal machine and is a good asset for Liverpool next season, and they are going for the UCL. Do you agree?
Liverpool have done a tremendous transfer business this season, and it is going to be very the APL actually will be very competitive with the additions they continue. I think the final puzzle in their matrix is just to add Isak to that squad. And of course, we know Newcastle have said, according to Fabrizio, that Newcastle will only start talking about Isak when you quote 150 million onwards. So whoever wants Isak should be thinking about 150 million. Plus, it has to be something very special for them to part ways with Isak. So, but I think Liverpool have done their homework. They have splashed the money. Of course, they don't want to be one hit wonder, because as we are all aware, Liverpool went almost 30 years without the EPL. They would not want such a scenario at this point and in time. I only hope my team can follow such kind of an.
What's your team? Your team is Arsenal. I saw. I don't know if Aisha and Nyambu you've seen that graphic of next season's Arsenal first 11. The goalkeeper is undisclosed. The right back is closing in. Two center backs being linked. The left back monitoring. Anyway, Aisha, what kind of a signing is this for Liverpool next season, and what will he bring to the Merseyside, the Reds?
I think this is a good investment for Liverpool. Like Derek said, I wish it was for my team, but the management team was actually on a good side when they made that signing. I mean, the player is just 22, so he has so much to grow, and he has versatility. I mean, a player that can play so many different positions is definitely a good asset to the team. He can play alongside people who have always been in the field, like Mohamed Salah. So that's an investment for sure.
What's your team, by the way, Aisha?
It's Man City.
I thought it's Manchester United. I was almost attacking you. Anyway, Nyambu, 10 goals and around 12 assists for Florian Wirtz in around 34 games for German side last season, Bundesliga. Only like 5 goals less than Cole Palmer and 2 less assists than Bruno Fernandes. What does he bring to Liverpool next season?
He brings a lot, and all I can say about this signing is just a statement. This is a very, very bold statement from Ancelotti, and this is just telling you that we are coming for those trophies come next season, because getting such a player and being ready to get such a player with that huge amount of money, it's surely a statement to say that we are doing everything to keep that trophy and to win more. And for Florian Wirtz, he's a very good player. He's a player maker. I think he can easily fit into the shoes of Firmino, what Firmino was doing. And I'm really seeing a very deadly Liverpool, and if they can get Isak, as DJ Mike says, of which I see them just breaking their bank, getting him, then it will be messy. Like it will be a very good side. Yes, sorry, because
yes,
like what?
Yeah.
Sorry, just say what you want to say.
I want to say, because you're all of you here are making it like Florian Wirtz is like Ronaldo or Messi or something. But let me just remind you, in the past seasons, Liverpool signed Gakpo. You remember when they signed Darwin Núñez, for like 120 million? Manchester missed on signing him, but Liverpool went rushed and signed Darwin Núñez. Where is he right now? Gakpo, the same thing. So I'm looking at Florian Wirtz. I'm like, it could turn out to be another Gakpo or Núñez thing.
I don't think so, because you see, he's different. Like, coming from Bayer Leverkusen, like, he's coming. I think you saw the manager's tribute to him, like a letter to him. Like, he really hoped that he would have stayed so that he can continue to do what he's doing. And then, even with his stats and abilities, you'd easily compare him to the likes of Haaland, like like his ability to finish. And I'm saying this about Anslot because Anslot came when he didn't have the likes of Kina Firmino or or Mane. Like, you see that trio of Salah, Mane, and Firmino, like the way they were playing. So he came and transformed Liverpool. So getting such a 22-year-old with such capabilities, I think he's going to fit in that team. That's why, like, I have that confidence.
I think the only difference between Florian Wirtz and other midfielders in the Premier League at the moment is that, just what Aisha said, that he's versatile. He can play in many different positions. So that, I think that's the only thing that he brings at Liverpool. Let me read some comments before we switch on to Garnacho and finally Pogba. Mtoto Ashule says, I support any team to win this tournament apart from Real Madrid. I still pray Mbappe misses out again. Mbappe will play actually the last game of the group stage. So because he trained today and yesterday, so he might play the last game for the group stage for Real Madrid. Texera David says, Sagini, World Cup club, who are you supporting? I'm with African teams. So any African team is progressing, I'm with them. Brian Muema says, Real, we are winning this. Alafu Kosi Masha says, PSG, Hala Madrid, hao wengine ni others. David says, Garnacho is a spoiled brat, akwende kabisa. We are coming there in a few. Brian Muema says, even Nkunku was the face of Leipzig. By the way, thank you so much for reminding them, Brian Muema. Nkunku was the face of Leipzig. At the moment, with Chelsea, things went shagala bagala. Then Malum Jubi says, DJ Mike, I want your opinion. And I don't know what he was referring to. But then Dr. Ashule says, it's good that Paul Pogba chose Monaco. I'm sure he will be back again. With Otelul Galati of Manchester, how let them sign Akina Obadia Tarumbwa. Okay, let's switch on to Garnacho, who recently, during a party in the preseason camp, he was seen wearing an Aston Villa jersey that is owned by Rashford, number 9. This has, of course, sparked speculations online. Maybe he wants to switch to Aston Villa, or maybe he's trying to pass a message to Ruben Amorim. What could this mean, Aisha? Does it have any meaning?
This could be some shade towards management. Maybe he's angry at something, because why would you do such? Well, you still signed under a specific team. I mean, the fans are infuriated, to say the least. I've read and seen comments of people complaining about this one picture in Ibiza, and the brother it's like he was not thinking. It's like he was on holiday and he was like, I'm doing this to piss someone off and I'm not going to be apologetic about it.
Okay. Nyambu, do Manchester United fans have any right to feel offended by this?
Of course, they have to, because now he's wearing an opponent's shirt. So, as Aisha puts it, I think it's to throw shade at the management, and maybe he's looking forward to leave. That is how it starts, and also I think it's also just to get people talking. Like, how social media is. I'm sure he knew when he was posting it to definitely create a buzz. So I think it's just to throw some shade. But maybe hinting at wanting to leave also.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, DJ Mike, you understand that when Ruben Amorim came to Old Trafford, Garnacho and Rashford were the first victims under Ruben Amorim, and they're best of friends. So it's just like supporting. But DJ Mike, remember there's a time when Cote d'Ivoire, Rivalry Coast's winger who's playing for the Red Devils, Amad Diallo, came to training wearing a Brighton shirt. At that time, it wasn't an issue, but at the moment with Garnacho, is a problem. So is it right for him, and what consequences do they follow Garnacho after this?
Thank you, Sagini. I think I've talked about this before. Garnacho is very clever because he is definitely wants to force a move, because he has already been declared by Ruben Amorim a surplus to requirements. Therefore, this is just a simple way. I don't think he's cloud chasing. That would be Garnacho is a brilliant player to me. There's a player there, but he has discipline issues. However, by doing that move, he's even lowering his value. But why? I don't think he cares. He does not even care about his value anymore.
Yeah.
You see, when Nyamu talks of rival team, does it mean that now Manchester United is in the level of as the Aston Villas and the Spurs? I mean, how low has Manchester United sunk so that it can be compared to Aston Villa? I mean, to me, not to me. I am sure that Alejandro Garnacho wants to force a move to Aston Villa. He has already been told to find himself new. In fact, on the face, not even rumors. Ruben Amorim has told him on his face that you'd be lucky to find a new club. But I am only concerned about his discipline issues together with Marcus Rashford. That is the only problem with him as a player. But quality-wise, there is a player there.
Okay. Let's hear from a United supporter, Derek Jumba. Jumba, why are you guys mad and angry about what Garnacho did?
Very mad, very mad. I want just to disagree with what DJ Mike is saying. Garnacho, I don't think if that one is a good move or something that we can talk about. I really just sympathize with the player nowadays.
Derek,
Yes?
sorry to interrupt you. Sorry to cut you short, but it's just a jersey, and it's not a jersey that is meant for maybe, let's say, Daniel Malen. It's Rashford, who is still a player.
Yes, Rashford is still a Manchester United player, but look at how he left the club. He was forced out of the club because of the discipline issues. So, if I were Garnacho, I wouldn't do that, because as a good player, as somebody who understands football, you can't just do that when you know your issues are not well with the coach. In fact, other club, look at Napoli. Napoli have been interested in Garnacho, but the moment you go out there and you are able to, you want to show yourself out of the club in such a move, I don't think if that one is a good move. Garnacho can be a good player, but he's going to be spoiled out because of the issues about discipline. He shouldn't have done so. And to me, I want to take this one as a caution to especially young players. If you want to be a good player, then you have to maintain such discipline, so that you attract more clubs and you attract your player ratings also.
Man, me, I don't see any problem with Garnacho wearing an Aston Villa shirt, and it's for Rashford. He's just supporting his buddy. He's just supporting his friend, his teammate.
I think it means Rashford went to Aston Villa and he's doing good.
Okay, maybe.
The team performed better.
Okay, here on the comment section, Masha says, Sagini, Arsenal is for interested only. Brian Muema says, you are all basing your wits brilliance in the money value. You've forgotten the likes of Grealish. Okay, thank you for the reminder. Nis D. Kim says, na kuona kaka kazi safi, Liverpool will be fierce next season. Let's all agree. Time will tell, time will tell, time will tell. Brian Muema says, Florian Wirtz is yet to prove himself in England, so I don't think he's worthy of the praises you all are showering him with. Okay, your opinion. David Texera says, Kai Havertz left Leverkusen in a very top form. Did he perform to the expectations at Chelsea? I won't be surprised. Kosi Masha says Garnacho anasaliti timu yake, huyo mtoto aende kama ameenda. Juu kizidi kukalisha Garnacho, Anthony Rashford and etc ni watalii, wataharibu team. So mimi staki Akai United. Is differently just putting across a point that he wants him to leave Manchester United. Brian Mwema says Garnacho wants out of Manchester because of the bad relationship with Amorim. Let the kid go. Being at MFC reduces your quality somehow. Alafu anasema, he says, talking about Garnacho's discipline, forgetting you've signed Cunha, the most indisciplined one, is absurd. Okay, let's leave out with the Garnacho issue and switch to Paul Pogba, who is another former United player. And of course, he left United with a very, not on a good note, on a bad note. When he left, he went to Juventus, spent there one season. The second season was not okay. He was caught up in some doping issue scandal. He was banned for some long time, and now he is back. Paul Pogba returns to the field of play of football to revive his career at the age of 30 plus. But then this time round, he signs for Monaco FC in Ligue A, French League champions. This is a good signing for Monaco. But then my big question or my big worry is Napoli the best place for Pogba to revive his career, Aisha?
I mean, why not, man? Why not? The man has had the issue in Juventus, so this could be a good and fresh start for him. I think it's good. Opinion based, obviously.
And how far can he go?
Maybe beyond the 2 years, or if he does do great, maybe other teams will scout him. So let's just hope for the best for the player, man.
Nyambu, of course, he is done well to just remain within the European competition. Did Monaco qualify for the UCL next season? I don't think so.
Yeah, of course they qualified.
They qualified.
Yeah,
So he remains inside the European competitions. How important is that for him and his career?
As Aisha says, Monaco is just a good club to start with, because now he's been out for long. Like having that ban, of course he will not be the same. Like he won't just come to the state like to play and then he just plays at like really well like he used to. But you know, when you're natural, like when you have that talent, then it doesn't become hard for you to get back to where you are, but it's going to take some time. So I believe Monaco is a good team for him to start. Maybe he's looking to go back to Juve one day. Maybe that is his dream. So I think that is a good starting point. As long as he has that that passion, he'll do great.
Yeah, well, Derek, if you had a chance to sign Pogba back to Manchester, would you have done that?
Absolutely no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't, because I would go by what Mourinho once said, that Pogba is a virus. I don't know if you remember that.
We do.
So if that is the case, Pogba was a virus, and for me, I want to believe, because Mourinho, we know him, he's the special one. So I wouldn't. Then I want to believe also the second thing that will disadvantage Pogba somehow, because many clubs wouldn't like to associate themselves with a player who has been involved with issues about doping. So for me, no. Then for him at Monaco, I want to believe that Monaco is going to be a fresh start for Paul Pogba, considering that they have European Championship, they'll be participating. So I'll just join the rest to say that he's likely to shine there, because he might be playing at home, having the home advantage, because we understand that he started his football career in a small club called, I don't know, Lavelle there in France, before he moved to Manchester United. That was back in 2009. Pogba as a player is a very talented player, and if it were not for maybe these things about doping and some issues about indiscipline, because also at Manchester United he wasn't that good. We had managers who are complaining about him because of his lavish style. He would change hairstyle every time and then. But Pogba at his best is a complete number 6. He'll give you what you want. He will score. He will do everything. In fact, I remember sometimes back his combination with the Pogba, Rashford, Martial, and Herrera. It was one of the perfect combination we once saw in football history.
Derek, let me remind you, when you said a big no to my question about signing Pogba back to Manchester, I'll remind you that Greenwood also had a scandal at Manchester. He went to the French League One at a club called Marseille, and he was among the top scorers last season in the French League One. So Pogba could also still follow.
maybe, but issues about Greenwood are a bit complicated, because we know for him it was something like domestic violence, of which I want to believe that Eric Ten Hag didn't treat that matter that well. If it was another coach, then that matter would be settled within the club and Greenwood would have a chance back to the team. But that issue was being escalated by people around the Greenwood. So there are two issues, but all the best to Paul Pogba.
All right, Brian Mwema says Serie A is tough, and considering Pogba's lack of matches in 2 years, Napoli ain't the right choice. It's not Napoli, it's Monaco. And he says the league, that McDonald's league, is good for a revival. Look at Greenwood in Marseille, became the top scorer. That's what I just said rightfully here. And David Texeira, Akosi Masha says Sagini, hiyo ndio shida ya players, wakifika United wakipewa donge nono wanasahau kucheza mpira. Example, Paul Pogba, Sancho and Rashford after wamejigundua walianza kuwa indiscipline. Mazoezi wanafika late. So hata Pogba wacha akae huko Monaco. DJ Mike has wind up Paul Pogba at Monaco.
I really like Paul Pogba. Very good box-to-box midfielder, where by joining Monaco puts less pressure on his back. If he had joined a bigger club, in fact, I would have loved him at Arsenal. However, because of his doping issues, it would have put a very big target on his back with performance and discipline issues. But Paul Pogba is a fantastic player, box-to-box midfielder. So I can't wait to see him at Monaco. Monaco has had very good players. Even Thierry Henry was at Monaco. So we wait to see, but I am sure he will perform. Pogba is a good player by all standards.
All right, and on that note, we wind up this show, and I want to say a big thank you to Aisha, all the way from Pretoria, South Africa. It was nice having you here. How do you say thank you in your language? Is it ngiyabonga? Here we say asante.
It's Kyalebocha.
Ngiyabonga is Pedi.
Kyalebocha.
Okay.
Ngiyabonga is Zulu.
Is Zulu. Oh, okay. Thank you. Ngiyabonga Aisha from Pretoria, South Africa. It was nice having you. In Swahili, we say asante sana kuwa nasi. Then you say karibu. Okay? So next time when you come on the show, I'll ask you the same. Yeah, karibu. Thank you also, Nyambu and DJ Mike, Arsenal fans. I hope you guys sign a player by the end of this week. And of course, Jumba, I also wish you the best. After signing Cunha, you've gone underwater. I also wish you the best in your transfer business. I hope you get a player. I hope you get Meumo. But all in all, thank you also, our viewer, for watching us from the start to the end, from 9 p.m. East African time, 8 p.m. Pretoria time, to this time of the hour. It's been lovely. It's been magical to have you guys here as my pundit or my panelist, and I hope to see you again next Monday on the final whistle 100%. And of course, this has been Walk with the Sagini. My name is Jason Sagini, the Sports Archbishop. As always, michezo ni yetu na sporti ni sisi. Kwa heri na kutakia usiku mwanana. Bye bye.